restroom, Supervisor Yonke has to be excused. Do you have this in? We move quick. By the way, if we go past 7:15, Supervisor Coffey is going to be chairing. And I don't intend to see that happen. All right. I just want to be done.
A little long.
I don't see any reason to drag this out all night. All right. Motion to approve the September 11th agenda. Supervisor Lewis, was that a motion?
Yes.
Second by Supervisor Poppy. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Approve August 7 minutes. Supervisor Haskey. Second by Supervisor Augustine. Any discussion on those minutes? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Public commentary. Do we have anyone who wishes to speak to the committee? Anyone who wishes to speak? Anyone wishes to speak? All right. Moving on. Approved filling vacancies. Ed, do you want to take those?
Okay, I think I'll start off with Melissa and the CCS director and mental health therapist, social worker, and children's and families.
Okay.
My goodness.
Second one. Yeah.
Page 2. Wow. All right.
Here it is.
All right. So this one's very similar. Yeah. So we'll start. The first one is the regarding the CCS director position. So in August, Kelly Kudneski submitted her letter of resignation with Human Services. This left a vacancy in the behavioral health unit. The position was the Comprehensive Community Services Program Director and Mental Health Therapist. This position requires a master's degree with license as a mental health therapist. We are proposing that the committee consider holding this position open until spring, because we have an internal candidate that is working towards this degree in licensure. So we are requesting that the committee consider filling the vacancy for a personnel handbook, but consider holding the position open until spring, in which that internal candidate would have the degree and licensure required for that position.
So, yeah, what is she needs a motion to fill, but hold till
We need a
spring?
motion to fill the vacancy because the policy says after 45
Okay.
days it lapses.
I understand. I understand that. Is there a motion? What is that?
Make a motion.
Supervisor Romden, is there a second? Supervisor Haskey, now discussion?
Oh, you're gonna fill the vacancy, but then you want this person that's taken the courses to have this position.
No, you are filling you're accommodating the request to fill the position, to not eliminate the position, and then we'll just hold it until.
So we
We're
won't
not,
actually
we're
hire
not
somebody.
eliminating the position.
So who's gonna do this job in between?
Our behavioral health director is willing to take on the bulk of the responsibility, knowing that in the long run, it will be easier for her to train this internal candidate who is already familiar with the CCS program. If if it's not sustainable for her to manage those responsibilities on her own.
I'll be back next month.
So when in spring, when this person takes that position, if she does, then you'll be back asking for another position to be filled.
Essentially, yes, that person will leave a vacancy.
But at this time, it wouldn't be, and that would have to be approved by us, so. Simple
That's
enough.
more clear now.
Sorry,
Yes.
I wasn't
Well, it's kind of not convoluted, but it's a little bit tricky, so. Needs a little clarification. All right, further discussion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right,
Thank you. Is it all right if I jump into the second one right away?
absolutely, we'd love you to.
All right, so the second one is regarding Child Protective Services. So in September, earlier this month, Randy Leopold submitted her letter of resignation, which left a vacancy in our Child Protective Services unit. It sounds like there is internal interest in that vacant position. So I'm requesting that you might consider approval to fill all subsequent vacancies that may result as filling the CPS vacancy. For this one, the Human Services Committee was not made aware of this because it happened right after our last Human Services Committee.
Human Services
We'll know about
okay?
it next week.
Yes.
Human Services okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay, so then do I have a motion to this effect?
I will make that motion.
Human Services will make the motion. All right, Supervisor Haskey, second by Supervisor Kroll. Is there discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right?
Just for clarity on my part,
Certainly.
we're able to move forward if there is internal interest. I don't need to come back.
That is correct.
Thank you.
You're good. Relatively painless. All right. Ed, are we ready to go on then to,
Yes, we go on to the sheriff's department. Talking about the investigator and cross-training the patrol position.
investigator slash cross-train patrol?
So two different positions, right? So you got the investigator who we had actually early this year did as a temporary assignment because we were trying to work out the whole issue of a possible transition team and then the like, right? So we temporarily assigned a deputy to that. Well, we know now that, things have changed, and so now we need to permanently assign that role as we had in the past. So all we're looking at is what we would have done probably about 6 months ago, is to request the permanent posting for an investigator. So that's a vacancy created by retirement.
Okay, so is there a motion to that effect?
Is a cross train?
Yeah, do you want to do both of them?
Let's
I
do
thought
it.
they were-
Yeah, let's do it together if
Okay.
you want to take that.
And then the cross-train position, what that is that it's a position actually on the jail side that we've had since the reclassification over a decade ago that allows us to have a position that we can cross-train. So we have fluidity between jail staff and patrol in the event of FMLA vacations, training, whatever, that we can move somebody over. So that one, again, we had posted for with everything that was in the hopper. So now we're just asking to get that posted because we do have 3 retirements coming up here within the very short future. And we've got to be nimble enough to be able to move people back and forth to alleviate overtime.
Is there a motion? Supervisor Masterly, there's a second by Supervisor Kroll. Is there discussion on the motion? Everybody's clear. Very well. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We move on to Mr. Every.
Thank you all.
You bet. Mr. Every, you're up. What do you want tonight? A truck, a forklift? Well, I think we would have rather given you a
We're all
truck.
running understaffed.
Could have found a truck. Well, maybe we couldn't find a truck easier either. That might, all right, go ahead.
In the last month, we've had a resignation from a highway worker position, and we've also had notice of retirement from a highway worker. That person's going to retire towards the end of the year, so I'm requesting permission to fill those positions. Period.
Is there a motion? Supervisor Poppy, second by Supervisor Lukes. Is there discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. We should have requested a truck too. As easy as that was. All right. So now we go to judicial assistant. I assume that this is going to be addressed by the Honorable Jeffrey Wisnicki. He's honorable now that he's not working for the board anymore.
So I want a pickup truck. Unfortunately, my judicial assistant has tendered her resignation. She's taken the opportunity somewhere else, and I would like permission to refill that position.
Is that hard to work with or?
Apparently. No, she communicated it was a number of reasons. Certainly was never one reason, but certainly pay is an issue. But I wouldn't say that's the only issue. But a number of issues. And anyway,
No, you don't need to give us a whole one. You know, I'm just giving you a hard time. Guy that has as much danger of standing in front of you for speeding tickets should probably be a less of a wise guy. All right, do I have a motion? Supervisor Poppy, second by Supervisor Haskey. Further discussion? Nobody wants to offend the judge. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
and that includes the truck, right?
We're
gonna charge it to Todd.
Come back,
Yeah.
come back for that next month. We'll have it on the agenda. All right, memorial resolutions. Ed, these will go to you, I assume?
Actually, Dave, I don't know if you drafted them or.
Yeah, all three of them.
Hopefully
put
this
together.
day.
I don't know that we necessarily need to, they come from the full board, so I don't know if we have to have a motion. on-
No action here tonight.
I don't think there's any action
Okay.
necessary. They'll just be
We'll-
presented tomorrow.
We'll look forward to adopting them tomorrow.
So you invite somebody from family or?
I've never done them before, so I don't know. how
Usually
the
they
board has
notify,
chosen to do it,
usually
but-
they notify families they're gonna do it, right, Ed?
I don't know, I've done that in the past, but if you want us to,
you
kind of
don't
short notice, but.
Well, it's on the agenda, I guess, and you'll be notifying them after it's adopted, right?
Right.
That's
I know
the
that there
main
is
thing.
language in the
Yeah.
document itself.
Okay,
Asked that it be forwarded to the family members.
There we
so
go.
the family receives a copy.
Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Consider 2024 cost of living wage adjustments. I'm assuming that is going to be Ed or Paul?
And supported by Paul.
Supported by Paul.
Well, in order for us to move forward budget wise and everything we need for the board to hopefully take action tomorrow night so that we can include the numbers that we need to cover the wage, potential wage increase. So Paul, why don't you talk about the CPI calculation that you have?
The CPI that we usually reference on the State Department of, wherever it is, State Department of Employment Relations, projecting out for December 1st, 2023 is 6.78%. Our pay plan has built into it. Yeah, the second,
How much did you say again?
6.78 is their projection.
I thought I misheard you.
Nope.
You would
It's
like
it's
to-
down from the previous month at 7.16. As you're all well aware, our pay plan has built into it a limit, steps plus cost of living can't exceed 3.75, which effectively gives the pay plan as it's written a 2.25% cost of living increase.
Okay. Is that it?
That's really the long and short of it.
What do you have any? No,
Recommendations?
I thought there was a recommendation coming with it,
Uh,
or you're just giving me bad news.
We're just giving you the news. I guess that's the board's decision what they want to do with it.
So cost of living, give me that one more time, the exact.
6.78.
That's the cost of living, and we usually adopt what falls the typical number.
The pay plan as it's written says up to 2.25.
So you're,
So we usually reference that, and in previous years, it's been lower than 2.25.
so if we do nothing, we take no action, which we couldn't here tonight anyway. We would only be able to discuss. If we take no action, it's going to stay at 2 and.
I think you have to prove that either way. Approve the following the pay plan 2.25 or select something else.
Paul, is that a 2.25 plus the step?
Correct.
So those people that are not
Yes.
in the steps
Yes, they would.
are gonna get 2.25.
We can't hardly go 6.78%. I mean, that's just not sustainable to the county. What would you say is sustainable, Paul?
Well, we can certainly follow the pay plan. I believe we can get at least 1% more out of it. If you want me to look more than 1% is about 90,000. We could do 1% more. If you want to go,
1%.
consider
at 1% of.
You feel that we could go, rather than the 2.25, we could go 3.25.
I know we can do that. If you want me to look more, I can keep going.
Well, I don't want you to be trying to find another 8 million for me.
No, it's not gonna happen.
I look like it took some years off of you last time, so. So you feel comfortable that we could go versus the 2.25, you feel comfortable that we could go to 3.25?
We can do 3.25 and be sustainable in next year's budget and looking forward beyond that. Again,
Which
this,
is still quite a bit. I mean, well, with steps, it's not necessarily, those that are not, those that are maxed out would be losing ground, right?
yes,
Even with the 3.25.
yes, 6% compared to 3%, they're going back.
Do you feel comfortable? 4% comfortable? Sustainable?
I'll have to have some conversations. I can make that work, 4%.
Can we delay this till next month when you have more solid numbers? October or not?
October 17th is when the budget.
Yeah, when's
meeting is.
the, when's this meeting?
Well, our next meeting is when?
I believe it's-
Couldn't be the 12th, that's a
No,
Thursday.
October 10th, isn't it?
Would have to be the, no, would have to be the 9th, right?
I have October 2nd written down here.
I have the 17th.
I have, it's already set,
Are you
it's
talking
set.
county or executive?
I'm talking executive, and it's already set for October 2nd.
Okay.
Number
It is
seven.
set- It is set for October 2nd.
Yes, I can have that.
And I
number.
believe that we removed that because we were worried, we were concerned about going on the 9th and conflicting with Supervisor Poppy's Indigenous Peoples' Day celebrations.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so.
Yes, I can have a number and let you know on
So we-
October 2nd.
So we could actually make an intelligent decision then on October 2nd rather than me just throwing numbers at you, right?
Yes,
Would the board be more comfortable with that?
Yes.
I would sure think when we're dealing with something that's gonna be baked in the cake going forward, we better have some reliable information. All right,
Well,
Very
last year we gave a 4%, but what was the cost of living last year? Do you remember?
last year was 4%.
Correct, but
Oh, last year, yeah, 7,
that's
6,
right. We gave them the extra.
6 fighting 6.
so it's just a little more than this year.
Yes,
And we gave them the extra percent
Yeah, we did. we
at
gave
the board, overrode what this committee was gonna do. Yeah, no, I remember that. That puts me in a less generous mood. Anyway, we need to make a,
yes.
we need to get some good information. Let us know what we'll try. So this gives the committee a little more time to think about this too. Since this is I don't know. All right. Highway Department foreman classification
We're gonna table that till next month.
table. All right. Fine by me. That means we're at Parks and Recreation. Consider Parks and Recreation Department.
This has been part of the packet. We are looking to take one of our current caretakers and switch that position to a maintenance specialist. We need someone that we already have someone on staff that does this, but someone that can repair. We have a lot of equipment, different types of equipment and rides. Being barred or that type of. So
Filter world.
we can do whatever we want. Like we had on it. We could hold one. Maybe don't.
All right.
But down the road, this is something that, taking names out of the equation, it's a very specialized, some of this work is very specialized, not the general person.
I saw that when reading through. It sounds like it.
So,
All right, so you're asking for a reclassification. What was the exact title on that?
maintenance specialist.
Maintenance specialist with somebody. Is there a motion to that effect? Supervisor Poppy makes that motion. Is there a second? Second by Supervisor Romden. Is there discussion? Any discussion? All right. Seeing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All in
Just
favor?
one question.
Yes.
for Steve. We're not adding positions. we're just
No,
changing
this
the
is taking
title.
the existing position and changing
Okay.
this.
Thank you.
like that into your individual.
Yep, that's included.
Okay, perfect. All right. Everybody's clear on this? All right. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, all right, that was easy. You look like you were expecting a harder, you look like you were expecting somebody to beat up on you there. All right. Consider salary schedule 3. Yeah, did you want to take that or was Paul?
No, salary schedule 3 hasn't been, if you look at the copy that you have, hasn't really been handled for a while. And I guess what prompted its presence tonight is Judge was asking about, we're paying $10.50 an hour for a bailiff. And that's probably not quite in line. However, in the clerk of courts did some checking with our surrounding counties, and the range is from $15 to $18 an hour. So
that includes his arms, right?
our county is at 15, Brown County is at 18, and Manitowoc is at 15.
Oh,
That's a different.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh,
This is a person, so when the jury goes out, they
Yeah.
attend to the jury, so it's not a security position.
Yeah.
But I think it came up in the context of our normal person wasn't available for some upcoming juries, and I asked, well, what do we pay the bailiff anyway? And $10 an hour, and I thought that was a little trivial. I mean, it's not, arduous work, but still to bring someone in to keep charge of the jury, I think something more $10 an hour
pick up
seems
the
more.
judge's laundry, dry cleaning, those are all.
Waxing his newly acquired pickup truck.
Yeah, and there's really some important task in there, you know. All right, what are the thoughts of the committee here?
Oh, looking at the whole thing or just that one?
We're actually looking at the whole
Whole thing,
schedule.
yeah, okay, go ahead, Ed.
And, your per diem, that hasn't changed in forever, the 40-60. And I don't take a position on whether that's, fair or not. Condemnation commissioners, $10 an hour. Inspection Service Commission, they get their $40. Zoning Board of Adjustments, they're under the 40-60. Local assessors, they get their 40-60. Local treasurers, that's when they settle with the county treasurer. That's what they get paid when they come in. Bailiff, jurors, $22.50 and $45. I think those are actually fairly good numbers. Witnesses, that's actually a statutory number. And you do see the statutory references that are in the left column there. And then the Housing Authority Commissioners, again, the 40-60. So I would suggest that we get rid of the mileage column and just do like we do with the other and reference the IRS code.
IRS rate. Is it, and if we were to, Jake, if we were to go, and I thought about this, if we were to get rid of the 40 and then the $10 for each half hour, on those, if we were to make all of those 60 and then 15 for each half hour, would that clean up a lot of this? And that's, I'm just throwing that out as a possibility. I'm also going to throw out under board, and you guys do what you want, because those numbers haven't changed forever and they probably won't change for another 10 years. So I was going to throw out, I also know county board has been 100 forever. I was going to say put that to 150. And then on the committees, make it go from 40 to 60, and then on the halves, go to 15. It's probably be a long time before it gets changed again, and even if it, and that's not a huge, when you go back the number of years, that would take care of a lot of those, virtually all of it, wouldn't it? Not quite.
So are you, can you go over what you were suggesting again for the per diem? You say a base of 60?
Yep, going
And
from
then-
40 to 60, and then each half hour after, now it's 10, you go to 15.
Here it's rated at 5 hours. 5 hours.
That's considered a full day then, right?
Right, but then you put the maximum, like we have a maximum
100.
that goes to 100, would go to 150 for a maximum. That's a proposal, that's just a suggestion.
The Board of Canvassers, they're here less than 5
Oh, okay.
hours.
Yeah, that doesn't clean it up. then. Okay.
You know, so I don't know what you
You
wanna.
got a proposal, Ed, or you just, or does somebody have something else?
So it's 40 for
So
the first 5 hours?
Yes.
These are two.
So
Not much.
wouldn't that work though?
Nobody.
So that's like $15 an hour?
Would it work if we had a,
Well, they're working on it.
the chair said if we had a start at what, 60 bucks and then $15 for each half hour thereafter, up to a maximum of $100 a day? Would that work? No,
Go back to work.
I mean, is it reasonable to do it?
I would say that if you went with 50 as your base and $10 an hour every half hour, you'd be all right.
Well, I think these need to be, all right.
Yeah, they're two separate issues. There's a Schedule 3 and then there's stuff
Well,
on the This is taking.
Do we have a
mixing it
proposal?
together.
This is pretty,
Okay,
pretty
if I can
low
get-
for your gig.
Yeah, it is.
If I get some sort of order here, do we have a proposal? Somebody want to make a suggestion? I mean, these are obviously very, very low and have not been adjusted for a very long time. And I don't know if we're meeting minimum wages even.
I just,
What if we did the same thing with these as we do with?
Could we change that entirely, Ed, and make it so that it matches up? with
I was gonna say, if you wanna do 50 and 10, so 50 for the first 4 hours, 10 for every half hour afterwards, and I think
I like 60 and 15.
And that's-
You want to make it
First
60
hour.
and 15 and you're.
That's what I was gonna do, make it the same across the
Make it the
board.
same as county board, so it'd be
I was
60
being
for the
too
first-
generous.
that would, no,
Well,
if the effect of that would be, it would be $60 for the first hour and then $15 for every half hour thereafter. So that 5 hour minimum stuff would all go away.
that would all go
It would
away.
have to be changed.
That makes sense.
But it would have to be, you'd have to put the maximum on there like ours, does, not to exceed
Max of
100.
whatever,
And
whatever you set.
I'm proposing we put our maximum as not to exceed 150 from the 100, and then we could put not to exceed 150 on this either.
Makes sense.
Paul, does this work? I always look to you on this,
These aren't big enough,
for you.
Yeah.
they're not gonna make a huge splash.
You don't deal in this
Yeah,
little
these-
stuff.
yeah.
huh?
And then no more mileage.
No, budget matters. It'll be like that.
The mileage thing, it's just,
IRS.
practically
Yeah.
speaking, it's cleaner to just say.
IRS rate.
You
Mhm.
always
Yeah.
pay out whatever it is, it changes.
So-
from time to time.
So if the committee were to adopt for all of them, $60 first hour, 15 each half hour thereafter, $150 a day maximum, does that work? Can you see anything that we're creating problem wise? Not creating a new problem, solving one, creating another?
Are we gonna address the bill?
Well, that
The
has to
ones
be
that are
done
at- that are
separate, you know.
hourly rate?
He's hourly unless we want to put him on. Same thing, I don't think so.
But you're gonna have separate for bailiff, witnesses, jurors,
Right.
so those would still need to be addressed separately.
You, whatever you want to make a motion. on. All right, can I get a motion then? Supervisor Poppy, do you want to make a
I would
motion?
make a motion that we would change so the first one would be the commissioner, condemnation, 18,
Condemnation.
and then the bailiff at 18. And I would assume we should probably do the witness at 18 also, they're all the same.
You might want to just hang a caveat on there, just say unless set by statute or something.
Yeah,
That
'cause
that one is.
there
Okay.
is statutory.
Okay, I don't know which ones are not. Thank you.
Okay, unless set by statute, okay. Go on, is that? Supervisor Poppy?
Yes.
That's your motion? Can you repeat it, please?
Okay, it's the commissioner of condemnation would go to 18. The bailiff would go to 18. And the witness is whatever the state statute is. Is that correct?
I think that's right.
Okay, so we got that.
And what about the jurors? Are those statutory also?
Statute. He added unless set by statute, so
Yeah.
I take care of all those.
The
Is there,
jurors right now are getting 2250, right?
That's
45.
Okay.
45 if they serve.
Yeah.
22 if they.
okay, is there a second to the motion?
Also,
Second by Romden. Further discussion of that motion? All right, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Now, the rest of, what else, is that everything on there?
That should,
We need to go to the second, we need to go, is that was, were we going to go with, were we willing to go with the 60-15 Supervisor Augustine will make that a motion?
I'll make a motion that will raise it per diem to $60 for first hour, 15 for every half hour, not to exceed 1.
Second by Supervisor Masteler. Discussion of that. And then we'll have to take up
Question?
Well,
Supervisor.
just a point of order, probably. These new rates won't take effect until the new board is sworn in next April.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. So you're helping your future, you're helping the next board. All right. So, and then what about, do we need to, in this, do we need to take up the board, the 100, that's the next? No, we need to address to the board.
That's IRS.
The 100.
Do we have to make-
150?
No.
That needs to be in there, doesn't it? The board, if you're gonna raise that from 100 to 150.
It hasn't been moved, has it? Is there a motion?
All,
I think
we
it's
we have a motion to move the per diems, the committee meetings from 60 for the first hour, 15 for each half hour as well. Did you want to make the whole board meetings a part of that? Move that from
Yes.
100 to 150.
Full board.
Okay, and you support that? All right, further discussion of that, and just to make sure, committee meetings, 60 for the first hour, 15 each half hour thereafter, not to exceed 150. Board meetings, go to 150 from 100. The second by John, and Supervisor Cole, did you have a question?
Can we add the mileage in that word?
Yeah, then Supervisor Augustine, you wish to say that mileage is IRS rate. Supervisor Masterler willing to support. All right, any other? Yes, sir.
we have some cleanup language that we'd like to make to this.
That's the travel policy, right?
No, well, that's the board's policy, yes. That's where your
Should that
per
be a
diem is.
separate?
That's where your per diem is. It's in the
Oh,
board
okay,
policy.
okay, so this would all go in there. All right, does this motion take care of that, Ed?
If you approve of it, I don't know if you've all had a chance to review it.
Yes.
I do have some copies here with the highlighted changes. You want to just look at that? The other thing that has been changed in this document is the fact that the board chairman no longer is eligible, no board member is eligible for health insurance through the county. Okay, that was done back in 2015, but the language wasn't changed to accommodate that.
Taking away my health insurance.
Yes. We also bumped up the chairman's salary from 5867 to 6,000. That's the 2.25%. So if you wanna do something different,
I'm really making half a minimum wage on
it's
that.
$130.
All of a sudden, you might want that little liner up.
Yeah. Gonna have people running against me next time now.
So item 8B in the schedule should be taken out completely.
Okay, so you have that all highlighted in the red for us, right?
With the exception of 8B, everything
Okay.
else.
Okay.
But that's already out, you said.
It's out by motion of the committee,
Okay, so,
but it's not changed in this document.
okay, should
So we
we,
just want to make you aware of the fact that we're pulling that.
okay, that makes sense, but that doesn't require any action from us because it's
No.
already been done.
And then the changes would be that per diem would be changed on the bottom.
Yes, we will add the numbers that you just went with as part of that,
Okay,
And that'll say 24 to 26.
24 to 26, yes.
maybe this will incentivize some of you to run for reelection. It doesn't look like it's working, okay. All right, any further discussion on that motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. There we go. Okay, so then we go to number 13 here. Consider county veteran service officer appointment and recommendation to county on the board.
So after the interviews that were conducted, I'm making the appointment of Nathan Thomas as the county's veteran service officer, subject to board approval. Nathan will start on September 18th.
I have a motion,
I'll make a motion to move that appointment to the board for final approval.
second by Supervisor Crowe. Discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now we get to the county administrator report.
I will just say one thing, that Mr. Thomas is coming to us from the Brown County Veteran Service Office.
Oh, well,
He's been there for 4 years in the office, and I really believe he'll do a good job for us.
all right, excellent.
He worked for Joe.
He works for Joe.
All right. So personnel report.
Okay, you've heard most of it from all the department heads that have been before you so far. We did fill the payroll technician's position. I don't know if you have the copies in front of you, but the lady's name is Nancy Fritz. She began on August 21st, so she'll be working in Paul's department now for a number of weeks with the current payroll person who's going to leave on the 29th of September. And Nate Thomas is the CVSO. So we've got a resignation from Highway, as Todd told us, the 2 spots in Human Services, and also the Judicial Assistant. And then we had 1 retirement, which is the highway worker from Todd's report as well. Under recruitment, we are currently recruiting the administrator's position. So far, we have 7 applications. That runs again till the 20th this month. The financial assistant, transportation coordinator position in Human Services. We've got a total of 3 apps, and that's after extending the deadline another couple of weeks. So that one, we're having a little bit of difficulty finding at least a volume of applicants. So we're looking at the parks caretaker spot that was added. And then we're also doing a second interview for the radio-op jailer, and that is scheduled for Friday. That's kind of where we are. A lot of turnover. I have never seen this much turnover in county employment. Any questions?
Questions for Ed? All right. Next meeting is already set, October 2nd. So Supervisor Poppy moves that we adjourn. Second by Supervisor Augustine. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned. We're good. Thank you. I don't remember last time so much was accomplished in such a short period.